and thank you for watching the City of Janesville COVID-19 Community Briefing for April 1st. This briefing is provided Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. My name is Dwayne Sherrick, and I am the Planning Section Chief for this operational period. We'll begin this morning with a review of our incident objectives for the city's COVID-19 response. First, safeguard the community, including our residents, businesses, and visitors. Second, deter the spread of COVID-19 within our capabilities. Third, provide essential services to the community. And fourth, safeguard City of Janesville employees and preserve our city service power. We'll now hear from other members of our EOC leadership team, beginning with Situation Unit Leader Nancy McDonald.
Good morning, Nancy McDonald, Liaison Officer. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services reports that as of yesterday, Tuesday, March 31st, there were 1,351 positive cases in the state, 16 cases in Rock County, and 1 death in Rock County. The city closely monitors our staffing levels every day, which supports our objective of ensuring that we can provide essential services and allows us to respond and adapt to the situation as it progresses. On Tuesday, March 31st, over 15% of our employees are working remotely. We also closely monitor levels of personal protective equipment, or PPE, that keeps our employees safe and allows them to continue to serve. We are keeping close contact with all our partners and other government agencies, medical community, schools, nonprofits, etc., to ensure a coordinated response. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Next, we'll hear from City Clerk Treasurer David Godek.
Thanks, Dwayne. City Clerk Treasurer Dave Godek. Just want to talk to the community about what Election Day itself is going to look like on April 7th. Want to remind everybody that we've condensed our polling places down from 10 polling places to 4. And so if you normally vote at Mount Calvary Church, Faith Lutheran Church, or the Job Center, you're going to vote at the Job Center if you appear in person. If you normally vote at the Church of Latter-day Saints, New Life Assembly of God Church, St. Mark's Church, Blaine Supply, or First Lutheran Church, you're going to vote at the Sears Building. Individuals who typically vote at City Hall or at the library will continue to vote at those places. We will be enforcing social distancing at the polling places. We are going to be running all of our election inspectors through health screens prior to starting their day at 6 a.m. And so one of the things that we would ask the community to do is, if you do appear in person to vote on April 7th, is to please bring your own pen. Black or blue ballpoint is preferable. Certainly no gel pens. They will damage the machines. We will have a limited supply of pens that we can provide to people for single use, but it would be easier for everybody if you had your own pen. We'll have markings on the floor to indicate 6 feet of social distancing for lines. We'll ask you to adhere to those, and we will be enforcing those. And if you have the ability to wear a non-standard soft face mask, a bandana, something over your face, that will help to protect our election inspectors, because it will lower your spray radius as you sneeze. If you're feeling ill, I would ask that you call our office at 755-3073 on Election Day so we can work through the process of having you vote without coming into the polling place. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Now we'll hear from Economic Development Director Gail Price.
Thank you, Dwayne. Economic Development Director Gail Price. The Economic Development Office is tasked with recovery from this pandemic for our businesses, and we are disseminating information as we have that available to us. So, little public service announcement. Today is Census Day, so please fill out your census form, get that turned in. I had my 10-year-old do it last week online. It's very simple, very straightforward, but very important for the City of Janesville that you fill out your census form. Since passage of the CARES Act, we're continuing to get new information, and we're trying to roll that out. So go to the growjanesville.com website, and we've got a banner at the top. Just click on that, and that will lead you to the various pieces of information and the applications that we have out there. So as we continue to learn this, we're learning the new acronyms that are tied to these programs. So yesterday I talked about SBA Section 7A. That's now referred to as the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. So you can start applying for that for small businesses and sole proprietors on April 3rd, and then independent contractors and those who are self-employed can apply starting April 10th. That will allow for up to 8 weeks of payroll, rent, and utilities, and you need to apply through an existing SBA 7A loan or federally insured bank or credit union. So that's the real key there, is a federally insured institution. Again, consult with your local bank or lending institution. They'll be able to help you through that. And the other key with that is that affiliation standards are waived, so those who are franchisees or franchisors are able to apply, unlike most other SBA programs. And then there is the EIDL program. That is the existing SBA disaster program, and you can apply online for that right now. We would encourage you to also contact the Wisconsin Small Business Development Centers. Our closest one is at UW-Whitewater, 262-472-1365 if you need assistance. Or you can give the Economic Development Office a call. My number is 755-3059, or give Nancy a call at 755-3180. Thank you.
Thanks, Gail. Next is Public Information Officer Alan Luckett.
Good morning. For trustworthy and up-to-date information from the City of Janesville, check often with the city's website, or sign up for press releases and emails, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can sign up at the city's website at ci.janesville.wi.us/email list. The city has created a unique page on our website that contains a lot of helpful community information regarding COVID-19 response. You can visit that at ci.janesville.wi.us/COVID-19. On this page, you'll find links to community resources, our archived briefing videos, our frequently asked questions sheet, and CDC information, business recovery information, and more. Remember to get your information from credible sources. The City of Janesville trusts government-sanctioned sites like CDC, Wisconsin Department of Health Services, FEMA, and others. If you have questions, please call the city's community support hotline daily from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that's 608-373-6027. Please share this information with your family and friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Now we'll hear from Finance and Administration Section Chief Julie Parker.
Good morning. Julie Parker, Finance and Admin Section Chief for this operational period. The EOC response team has logged 2,542 hours to date, and we have also captured expenditures of $138,708.42. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Next is Safety Officer Captain John McManus.
Good morning, John McManus, Safety Officer for this operational period. Our message remains consistent. First, clean and wash your hands. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. 20 seconds is very important, especially after you've been in a public place or after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. If soap and water are not readily available, use a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact. Avoid contact with people who are sick. Create a space between yourself and other people, maintaining a 6-foot social distance. This is especially important for those who are at a higher risk of getting sick. As an additional note about the use of non-standard cloth masks, it is important to maintain social distancing with the use of non-standard cloth masks. And that's how we're going to get any benefit out of them. You'll have more in tomorrow's briefing on that from the safety group. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Now we'll hear from Incident Commander Chief Ernie Rhodes.
Hey, good morning. Ernie Rhodes, Incident Commander. Just a reminder for your food shopping, try to extend your shopping cycle, your frequencies. If you're going to the store every 2 to 3 days, try to go to every 6 days. Try to plan your meals accordingly. This will absolutely reduce your risk. And remember, just one can go to the store, that'd be great, versus the whole family. I know maybe there's some child care issues, but at least pause for a moment and think about that. Wanted to remind everybody of our community hotline number. That's 608-373-6027. If you need help with medications or food, have questions in general, if you think a neighbor, you haven't seen a neighbor outside in a while and may need to be checked on, give us a call. We would be more than glad to try to help with that. As far as emergency operations in the city of Janesville, right now our police services are very strong. Our fire services are very strong. Our Department of Public Works are very strong. We keep monitoring that. We keep making sure that we are providing just as high quality service before the virus came to our community. And so that is going really well, and we are still focusing on working with our partners in the community for planning for a surge at the hospital, and we are also prepared to deliver food if needed to some of our residents that are stuck at home. I want to remind you there will be a second wave, and so once we get through this one, there's a good chance, well, there's not a good chance, there'll be another spike in cases. So just think about that, prepare for that. Talk about that with your family. What does that look like? And then also the good side is, what does recovery look like for your family? So here at the city, when this started, we already started thinking and talking and looking and working on recovery. So think about that, what that looks like at your home, potentially your business, and what are those indications or some of those decision points where you're thinking about getting back to your new norm. Also be aware of scams. If it sounds like it's probably too good to be true, it probably really is. So just be mindful. There are a lot of scams ongoing right now. And I'm going to say it again, give each other grace. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Our final brief this morning is provided by Janesville City Manager Mark Freitag.
Thank you, Dwayne. Good morning, City of Janesville EOC members, City of Janesville employees, and members of the community that are listening in. I got an email yesterday from Karen, and I wanted to share it with the community. And Karen says, I would like to compliment the city on keeping its citizens informed. I listen in each morning on the report from the EOC, and it's done in such an informative and professional manner. While each person has done an outstanding job, I really like how Fire Chief Rhodes reminds us that we have lots to be positive about, and how he reminds us to give grace to those around us. He's so reassuring, as are you, Mr. Freitag, in your comments. Thank you to all city employees. And so, folks, we always get a lot of negative feedback, and it really is nice when we get some positive feedback. And so please keep the positive feedback coming. We'll take the negative stuff too, but keep that positive feedback coming, and we certainly appreciate it. Because we do have a City of Janesville team that's working very, very diligently to lead this community through our COVID-19 pandemic. And so I wanted to share just a comment, an email message that was sent from our city clerk treasurer to his boss, the deputy city manager, about the election efforts and what the team has done to make sure that we're prepared for the April 7th election. And I won't read the whole thing, but I'll read an excerpt here. And he says, I want to acknowledge the assistance we have received from the library and the neighborhood and community services staff over the past 2 weeks. I also want to recognize the people in the EOC. Everything I have asked for, they have provided me in a timely fashion, and it has allowed me to focus on getting ballots out the door. Finally, we have had some experienced elections inspectors that have assisted us in the previous 2 weeks. All of the people I just mentioned have done great work, and I truly appreciate their assistance. I am proud to work for an organization where I can rely on my colleagues to step up and help me in a time of need. In Janesville, everyone has simply risen to the challenge and put the residents' needs first. And so what that tells me, folks, is Dave Godek is another superb city leader, and he's got a great team that's supporting him in his clerk treasurer's office. But guess what? The city of Janesville has come together to surge and make sure that our elections are carried out in a very professional and to-standard application. And so I just would tell you, we're doing that across the entire city. Your City of Janesville team is working for you. So moving on to really the third thing that I'd like to stress today, and that is yesterday we got some very, very sad news, and that is that one individual here in Rock County passed away as a result of the COVID-19 virus. And that's a sad reality for Rock County, certainly for our community. And so our prayers and our condolences go out to that family, because that's a tough loss to have to go through. And I would tell you, folks, that COVID-19 is a virus. It is here to make people sick. That's what it does. And some of those people may end up passing away as a result of exposure to COVID-19. But the question is are we going to let it beat us? And the answer is absolutely not. For me, Mark Freitag, defeat is not part of my vocabulary. And I would tell you that in the city of Janesville, defeat is not part of our DNA. It's not who we are. So we're going to do three things to defeat COVID-19. One is we're going to stand tall. Two, we're going to stand firm. And three, we are going to stand together. I would tell you that we're going to stand tall. We're going to look back on 185 years worth of history and breeding and generational development that stood the test of time. And when adversity confronted us, we rose to the challenge and we beat down that adversity. When we needed to face a challenge, we reached deep down inside and we grabbed a hold of some personal courage and confronted our fears and the unknown. And so we're going to stand tall as a community. Second, we're going to stand firm, and that is that we're going to have the discipline as a community to live in accordance with the stay-at-home or the safer-at-home order from the governor. That's hard. I get it. You don't like being at the house. But we're safer at home than we are out and exposed in the environment. And so be disciplined in how you conduct your lives. Be disciplined in maintaining 6 feet social distancing in your personal space. Be, and I'm trying to think of the right word here, be diligent in that discipline in your daily life, because it's going to make a difference. It's how we beat COVID-19. And then lastly, I want to tell you is we got to stand together. And that is that there are people out in this community that need reassurance. There are people out in this community that need help. And I would encourage you that if you have, as Chief has mentioned, if you have a neighbor that you haven't seen come out of their house in a while, you may want to give them a call. Knock on the front door, stand back, and make sure that they're okay. If you need to provide money to one of the local service organizations that's helping those in need, please do so. But the community has got to stand together to defeat COVID-19, because remember, as I've said the last couple days here, we are Janesville strong. We are going to overcome this, but it's going to take the community to make that difference. And so let's get out there. Let's make sure we make a difference in each other's lives. As Chief continues to say, let's give each other grace, and we will work through this marathon event and come out better, stronger at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. This has been the City of Janesville COVID-19 Community Briefing for April 1st. This is provided each morning, Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. We thank you for watching.